Hey everybody, Fletch from All Things Overlanding here. On today's 3-Minute Thursday, we're going to be talking about a device that I don't quite know how to describe. We're going to go into more detail on it in the review, but it kind of does a little bit of everything. It's a flashlight, it's a portable battery charger, it's an SOS beacon, it has a crank built into it so you can charge it via crank power. It's got a radio built into it. It's got a number of things, so it's kind of an interesting, cool little thing that may be of interest to people that are into overlanding or camping. So if you want to learn more about this thing, stay tuned. All right, guys, so as I mentioned, on today's 3-Minute Thursday, we're going to be talking about the Sunglife SOS NOAA weather radio flashlight rechargeable crank-powered battery thing. It's a mouthful. I don't know how to describe this thing. But the cool thing about it is it's actually really interesting, and it's got a lot of cool features. So let's start by, I'll just show you this here in the camera. Hold it up here for you, too. It's small, so when you look at it online, it looks a lot bigger than it actually was when I got it. It's about the size of my hand, as you can see there. So it's actually a lot smaller than I thought, which is actually kind of a good thing. So the features on this thing include there is a fold-up solar panel on the top here. Again, it's got a little antenna that pops out here and folds up. So you can listen to radio and stuff on it. I did try it out earlier, and it does actually work pretty well, just like you would expect a radio to. So, like, I haven't even charged this thing. I cranked it a little bit earlier. We're on FM. So if you can hear it. I don't have the antenna up either, but... maybe I need to have the antenna up. But yeah, so it's got a little radio. It's got a little radio built into it, which is kind of cool. So, like, you know, if you're out in the bush and you don't want to have to use your phone to listen to music, or you don't have internet and you just don't have anything, you know, saved to your phone, this would be a good option for that. The cool thing is, so it has a solar panel on top. I sincerely doubt that with the size of this solar panel, that's really going to charge anything. I mean, maybe it will. I doubt it. It's just so small, and you know, I've got some solar stuff now. I have a solar battery pack that probably has 10 times the charging space of this, and it doesn't charge that thing at all. So I'm going to say I'm doubtful that that's going to work, but you know, it's not a bad thing to have if you were out in the middle of nowhere, and especially because I believe you can combine that with the cranking mechanism. So here's the cranking mechanism. It folds flat on the back. And then basically you pull it out, you just crank it up, and that generates power. You can see the light lighting up there showing that I'm generating power. So kind of a cool thing. And then on the back here, you've got if I can open it, a little USB out, so you can charge stuff off this. It's about a 2,000 milliamp hour battery, so it's not a huge battery at all, but it's something. And then it's also got a spot in here for, it looks like 3 AAA batteries. So you could also put battery power in it. The one thing that I do kind of like about this, though, is on the bottom here, there's actually switches. So you can switch it down to battery. So if you wanted to use it purely as a battery, you can adjust that and flip that down. If you want to use it as an SOS, it's loud. It will set off a really loud alarm, and if you want someone to find you, they will probably find you. Also on the bottom of this thing, there is another switch for lithium-ion batteries or the AAAs. So I kind of like that too, because there's a lot of devices that kind of seem to run off both, but you never really know. And then, you know, when you need it, the AAA backup batteries are dead. With this, you can just switch it. So you can say, hey, give me the lithium-ion that I charged with the crank or with the solar, or maybe even charged before. It does have a micro USB in there too that you can use to plug it in and just charge the thing. So if you charged it up beforehand, you could use that, and then you can switch back and forth. If you wanted to switch to the batteries, you just flip the switch, and now you're on battery power. So other features, again, trying to keep this short for the 3-Minute Thursday here. It has a built-in flashlight here, which is actually kind of handy, and I'll show you on the back here. It's fairly bright. I mean, it's nothing special, but again, just to have it all in one package, it's nice. And one thing that I actually didn't know about, and I kind of found by accident, is when this solar panel is actually adjustable. You can like tilt it up, and when you do, it turns on sort of like a lantern light underneath of the solar panel. So I thought that was kind of cool too, because, you know, again, for kind of an all-in-one, you've got sort of a flood lantern style light, you've got a flashlight style light, you've got a radio if you're out in the middle of nowhere. You can, you know, set off a loud noise and hope that people find you. You can adjust power, you know, whether you want it to come from the lithium ion or from the AAA batteries. And then, of course, you can charge stuff off of it, and you can keep it charged by cranking it. So essentially, between the solar and the crank, you're never going to be out of power, which is, you know, kind of nice. Again, for the price, too, I think this thing was about $30. So would I recommend it? Sure. I mean, I think it's a useful tool. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. If this is something that you think would be beneficial, again, if you like to listen to the radio when you're out in the middle of nowhere, I generally have a playlist on my phone that I would use for music and stuff like that. Or books on tape or podcasts or things like that. But this is a cool little option too. And I like the fact that it has a battery built into it. So again, if you weren't doing crazy stuff, right? If you weren't, you know, trying to charge a laptop off of it 100 times, then this would probably work for like partially charging a phone with a 2000 milliamp hour battery. But so it could help you top stuff off. And again, just to have the capability to have something that even if everything else is dead, you could, you know, crank this thing up and then get radio reception, be able to listen if there's a storm coming in or something like that. I think there's definitely some value to it. So again, just wanted to kind of give you guys my thoughts on this thing. It's the Sunglife. I don't know what's called. I'll put a link down in the description below. It has so many features. I don't really know what's called. So yeah, anyways, it might be worth checking out. Again, if it's something that, you know, you've kind of been looking for a way to combine, you know, consolidate your gear and get down to less flashlights, less radios, less stuff, this is an all-in-one solution that's pretty handy. Again, I hope that gives you guys a little bit of an idea about this product. I'll put a link down in the description below. So yeah, that's it. That's the 3-Minute Thursday. So thanks so much for stopping by. As I always say, get out there, live, learn, discover. Check out your environment. If you don't already, please subscribe to the channel. Down below, I'll put links to all my other social channels where you can check me out. But engage with me. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to get a comment from you, a like, anything that I can do to, you know, make things better, anything I can review specifically, please just comment down below and let me know what you'd like to hear about, and I'll try and make that one of my future episodes. So thanks again for stopping by, guys. Have a good day. Talk to you later.